What is up, world? You are in tune to the world famous Know It All podcast with the usual suspects. I got my man Big G. What is popping, G, man? How you doing?
Man, what's going on to the Know It All podcast, man, and the viewers, man? Man, I wish you guys could hear some of the stuff that goes on backstage, man, because it's hilarious. We could win an Oscar for some of the stuff that goes on backstage, man. For real, for real. But yeah, let's get the show popping. We got a good show today, so let's do what we do.
Whole bunch of craziness, and we got my man Tate with me. Tate representing and rocking the Lima Senior shirt. That's a sign that we got a legend on the line with us, man. What's good? How you doing, Tate?
What's up, Ma? Big G? I'm good, man. You know, I don't got no blue check, but I'm the real Tate Boy Fresh. Believe that.
Oh, this guy, man, this guy. And I'm the one that knows it all. I'm the know-it-all that knows it all. And that's what we do. Definitely, man, we like to thank you guys for rocking with us, man. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications and know that we are here. We do got a special guest with us today, and we're going to get on to that. But first, let's get on to this. And yes, you are in tune to the Know It All podcast, man. And we got some business to handle straight out the gate before we get to anything. Timothy Lyons, what is up, man? Thank you for rocking with us today, man. What is going on in the NFL, man? We've got a good one here, man. Jalen Ramsey has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. Bruh, they having a fire sale in LA, man. Tate, what is good with this, man? Talk to me, bruh.
Man, they had a bad season last year. They got a lot of messed up contracts. As you know, the Rams just a couple years ago when they won, they just went for the bowl, man. They brought in Jalen Ramsey. They brought in Matt Stafford. They gave Cooper Kupp his money. They even brought in Odell. They already got Aaron Donald. They brought in Leonard Floyd. They got big checks to pay.
Yeah, man. So they just busting it all up, huh? That's what they're gonna do. They just busting it up. Gee, what's your chime in here on what you see here happening in LA?
Miami, well, first of all, Miami got a top 5 defense. I don't care how you cut it. Right now, they got a top 5 defense with them boys, Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey on them corners. It's going to get ugly and often ugly, you know, and they got a serious pass rush. So that's number one. But, hey, Tate, do we go get Donald and bring him to the crib, dog? Do we get Donald and bring him to the crib, man? Talk to me, Tate.
I wouldn't be mad, man. Give him a 2-year deal before Kenny Pickett got to get paid, and you know they might could get a bowl in there with that defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know, I was telling G earlier, man. This was something I was telling G. I said, you know, if you look at it, there's 3 places he go that make him just. Yeah, I don't think y'all get a bowl next year. He'd be lethal with TJ Watt, right? But if you put him with a Bosa, you put him with a Parsons, you put him with another Bosa over in the Chargers, man, he becomes something that they become something.
Man, what is you saying? TJ Watt better than all of them. What are you talking about?
No, but you got to think it's not the defense. It's not the defense I'm talking about with the Steelers. It's the offense that would concern me. Y'all would have to be all out good and beat offenses in the AFC that are potent, right? But the defense could do it, but I just don't think that y'all offensively would have a Super Bowl team. Y'all have to have some more pieces, but y'all would definitely be there good. But I'm just saying, if you put him with an elite passer, this guy becomes something totally different, man, totally different. And moving on, we had another trade that, you know, I mean, it just took me out. This was how crazy the whole player said it was. The player that got traded, he's saying, man, this was crazy. DJ Moore is saying, man, this was a trade that I just don't, I mean, for real, like, it was almost like, hey, I give you all of this for this. And he was like, yeah, nah, you're not going to take it. And they took it. It was one of those things like, I'm surprised you took it, man, for real. Everything. Check this out. The Chicago Bears trade the number 1 pick, right, to the Panthers. The Panthers only got the number 1 pick. And they got the number 9 pick, the number 61 pick overall, 2024 first round pick, 2025 second round pick, and they got DJ Moore. Bro, if that wasn't just like, just taking the cabinet and just leaving it bare, I don't know what it was. You talk to me, G, man. Tell me what you think about this trade.
Well, I think that the Bears got bourgeois. Really, to be honest, I think that they panicked and they rushed to take the trade because there was going to be better deals and better come up. But they were so worried about getting off the pick that they put themselves in a position because they could have got the bag. And I said this on the Homies podcast. I think the Bears is about to blow their draft. Do they get another piece to go around Justin Fields? Yeah, but they could have got better. So it's wait and see about what the Bears do. But I think definitely that the Carolina Panthers did this to go up and either get Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I think the more I look at it is C.J. Stroud. Tate, talk to me, man. What you think? How do you think about this draft? I mean, about this.
Per usual, G overreacting. The Bears got a good trade. They got good value. They traded number 1 pick. They got the 9th pick coming back from Carolina. They got the number 61 pick.
Yeah, 961.
961. They got the next year's first.
Yeah,
and a second. I mean, that's good value. They gonna get a lot of good pieces out of this trade.
Man, definitely. Well, you guys, man, we have a special guest with us here at the KnoitAllz, man. Someone who we all know, all 3 of us know him. He is a Lima legend. We want to introduce Coach Q. Coach Q, what's popping, man? How you doing?
What's good, fellas? I'm good, man. How you boys doing?
Man, awesome. Happy to have you on the show here today, man. We're going to talk some basketball local, and we're going to talk some NBA basketball with you, man, and chop it up, man. So if you would, man, just kind of introduce yourself to the KnoitAllz viewers, man, and tell us who you are, what you do.
All right, man. Hey, it's a pleasure to be on here with y'all, man. Definitely. I definitely appreciate the invite, man, and taking the time out to build with me. But yeah, man. Hey, I'm Q. That's short for Quincy Simpson. Obviously, Simpson is a very household name in Lima, Ohio. Been a guy that's been around the game of basketball my entire life. Had an opportunity to leave, come back, coach at my alma mater where I went to high school at, and it's been a blessing. You know what I mean? It's been really good. I just finished my 9th season. Looking forward to the next 9, man. So in a nutshell, that's really who I am.
Love it, man. Love it. Tate, you had a question for Coach, man. Go ahead.
Man, I got a gang of questions, man. I mean, so I'll ask my first one, and we'll just get them in because unlike other weeks, I got my notes here today.
Mr. Ray Pitt said, "Shout out, Coach Q."
Yeah. But no, just to start it out and get a hometown feel, man. I mean, I've been around Q for probably 35 years now, maybe a little less, 33, 34 years. We came up together, good friends with his brother Sean. His brother Warren was the OG, a little older than the rest of us. But Q, so just to jump it off, man, I'm gonna ask you, man. I know how you feel about the hometown, about the community and the young people of the community, man. Where does that love from Lima come from for you?
Well, I mean, honestly, man, it came from me watching other guys do it, pouring back into the community before me. Specifically Radar, my uncle and everybody, everybody knows Radar. And it's crazy because, he the GOAT of all of this basketball stuff, man. He's paved the way, for a lot of us. Especially myself, never gave up on me. More so because, we got the same DNA because we're family. But, I watched everything that he did going back, to the Team Lyman days. I watched how he kind of, got me up under his wing, coming out of juvenile detention center, making sure I didn't fall down and bump my head anymore. So, watching him, man, and just, the way that he poured back into us, I watched him almost lose his marriage, man, just trying to help kids out, and I mean, help out like personally, financially, emotionally, so when I was able to sit back and reflect and observe, everything that he did, it was a no-brainer. Whatever community I was going to be in when I became an adult, I was going to try to be involved in that community. Fortunately, I'm able to do it right here in my hometown.
That's awesome, man. I mean, because you brought it up. I remember the young Menace Q, man. You was a mischievous little cat, man. and just to see where you are now as a grown man and a man of the community and a man of the people, man. That's good stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a path that I probably, I wouldn't want anybody to do it. But I do believe you got to go through some things in life, man. And, God put me in position to go through some things, to fall and bump my head a few times. I got an old saying is that, you got to go through hell to come out right. And so,
Absolutely.
I've been through a lot of hells, man. And so, sometimes I still feel like I'm going through them, man. But I look at everything that I'm doing, not only for my family, for the community, for the kids that are at Lima Senior, I feel like I'm very blessed, definitely.
Yeah, I think the way of success is paved with failure. You're gonna have some dumps in the road, and how you manage those bumps in the road will show you a lot about who you are and your character. You got to be able to have some bounce back, man. Big G, you had a question that you wanted to ask, man. Go ahead and talk it out. Ask Coach Q.
Well, it's a question and a comment. First of all, the comment is that in my personal opinion, Quincy Simpson is probably a top 2 coach in the state of Ohio for high school basketball. That's just my own personal. It might be biased, but he is. His record speaks for itself. The quality of the product that he puts out on the court is unbelievable. And even more so what he does with the young people by getting them to the next level. For a guy coming from Lima, Ohio, and being able to take guys on this level who don't know anything about going on to play college basketball, not just for what he did for his son, but for so many other kids in the community, is just outstanding. That's just my personal opinion. But my question is, Q, is that you're from Lima. I'm from Lima. I live in Lima, right? And we always see this whole thing about how people nitpick over kids, right? And one thing that I've seen consistently out of you is that you've been consistent with the kids and not nitpick and try to cherry pick and pull this kid from over here and this kid from over there. Tell me, why do you feel that you're so successful just by being the standard? Because I call you the standard. Anybody else, they need to get their level up to Q. So you tell me about how you create the standard in Lima Senior basketball.
Man, it's funny that you mentioned the term standard, because that's our culture. Our culture at Lima Senior is standards and expectations. I'm a kind of no nonsense guy, so we live in a generation where, it's crazy because everybody is offering kids something. I coach, obviously I'm heavy into AAU. I coach at a high level, high school. And so today's kids, quote unquote, are a lot, softer than what it was when we was coming up.
Yeah.
Primarily we don't see kids playing outside at the park anymore. Everything is structured. Everything is pretty much inside. It's paved for these kids to have the path to have it easier. But for me, I'm a no nonsense, and I'm built on standards and expectations. And so all my guys, they know if you come through the program and you just do things the right way. It ain't about whether you start. It ain't about how many points you scoring. If you handle your end, you scratch, my back, I'm definitely gonna scratch your back, and that's gonna be scratching your back will put you in position to have some success beyond high school. Everybody can't play basketball at the collegiate level. We would like to say that, but it's just not possible. But I'm big on military. I'm big on skilled trades. I'm big on putting these kids in a position where they can be productive adults. But before we do that, it has to be structured. These kids have to be held accountable. I make it tough for them. I make it very uncomfortable. We do things that I know most high schools around the country don't do.
Right.
Guys aren't coming in at 5:30 in the morning consistently. Teams aren't practicing as much as we practice. The demand is extremely tough, but I do that for a specific purpose, for life after line of senior. Some guys get it. Some kids understand. They buy in. They get it. They go to college. They do their thing, or they go get a job, and it's great. And they come back and they say, now I see the seeds that you were planting in us, because I may not have seen it at the time, but I see it. I see it now. So I don't think that part for me will ever change. I see a lot of coaches who aren't, quote unquote, keeping it real, with kids. Hell, that's why the NCAA portal is almost 2,000 players.
Yeah.
I think a big part of that is somewhere along the way, guys don't tell kids the truth. And so now we're dealing with a situation where, when you tell kids the blunt truth, if it's not to their liking, what happens? They transfer. That's what's happening at the collegiate level. Well, starting down here at the AAU level, we don't tell kids what they want to hear. They just go play for another team. They don't tell kids what they want to hear. They just jump and play for another team. And again, at that level, I've been successful because I do it the same way. The same way I coach my high school guys is the same way I run my AAU team. And so everybody don't buy into that. That doesn't make everybody happy. But from a guy that's been through it, been to several schools, placed a ton of kids in college, my way may not work for everybody, but I think the way that I'm doing it, it's definitely been successful working for a lot of kids. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna definitely jump into some more questions here. Timothy said, way to go, Coach Q. Keep up the great work. Kendra Giles said, thank you, Q, for being the change. And Claude, of course, said, good evening, gentlemen. And he said, Coach Q, keep up the good work. You guys, somebody has the show up because we're getting an echo. Please cut the show down or cut off the other side that you have going so that we won't get the reverb.
Q, you got up 2 phones, bro?
Nah, I just got one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Coach, here's my thing. Like I've watched you have success, on the high school level. And you just spoke about what you do AAU, and you've had some good ones. And we're gonna definitely get to Xavier in just a second. We'll talk about that. But I'm interested to hear, because you touched on it briefly. We were talking about how kids now all expect something, right? So I'm interested to hear what you think about the NIL. And do you feel like that there should be some type of cap on this? Because I feel like at some point we're going to start dealing with this in high school. If they don't stop it now, you're going to have kids in high school getting NIL deals. And I think that's just going to blow out of control. So talk to me about that briefly, man. Just give me how you feeling about the NIL and what's going on here now as we see it in college athletics.
Man, I'm a little salty that the NIL came after my son left Michigan.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He could have got a nice bag from that NIL, man. But nah, man, I actually like it, man. I actually like it a lot because we've seen these universities make, millions off these collegiate level athletes at all sports. And so I know there's a lot of people that say, well, you're getting a free education, So that should be enough. And that for hundreds of years, it was enough. I was able to benefit from that free education myself. But we all know and understand, if you're talking the money from the full scholarship, comparing that to what the universities make off the season, we talking apples and oranges. It's not,
Right.
it's not even remotely close. So I'm all a fan of the NIL, but what's even more crazy, like that's the NIL now, that forces me to change some things about how I train kids, how I maneuver kids to colleges, because I'm getting coaches now. They always reach out to me and ask me, college coaches, and ask me, do I got kids that's going to go in the portal, that's looking to leave. And so I got a few guys that's about to go in the portal, right? And so before it was just kind of like, yeah, I got a guy over here who may want to leave. I got a guy here. But now the first thing the kids is asking, is their NIL money. So like for me, that's catchy. So, do you want to hoop and have an opportunity to play basketball at the high level? Or is the bigger scheme of things how much NIL money you can generate?
See, Coach, that's what I'm talking about. That right there. It's like the transfer portal is near 2,000 people because people can go to different places and cherry pick NIL at this point, right? So that's like the growing monster that we see. I agree wholeheartedly. When it comes down to it, I mean, shoot, players have been making millions of dollars for these universities for a long time. This one over the top of me is guilty as well, right? They've been making money. I mean, jerseys, everything that's been sold. I mean, Texas itself from a one football game makes $40 million. That's
Right.
one football game. That's one home football game. And that product that you're putting on the field is young kids, right? So, I mean, I get that they should get something from that. I do. But it's gonna keep the ball rolling. It's gonna make it to where the alumni. I mean, literally, let's be real. They just legalized gambling. They just legalized what they were doing already, right? Let's be real. I mean, you don't think Alabama was just getting people? They wasn't just getting people. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do think that there needs to be some parameters placed on this so that way we can kind of keep the game orderly. Because if not, the rich are going to get richer and the poor are going to get poor, and you're not going to be able to, as a smaller Division I, to compete with bigger programs. And these smaller Division I's are going to lose they're good players to the bigger fish. But I think the flip side of that also, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I think the flip side of that is you make college sports more competitive, because now those other D1s, that the smaller ones, that those players from the bigger D1s had to leave because they were being pushed out. Now they're more competitive, and those kids are staying 4 or 5 years in school. So real quick, what you think about that? And then G and Tate, help me out.
No, man, I like it, and I don't necessarily I'm not leaning towards one way or another in terms of a cap, because there's no cap for the amount of money that they can generate off the athletes. So, man, if you got an opportunity to change the dynamics of your family at 18, 19, I think that should be allowed. Again, we can send people to war at age 18, but we can't allow guys to go in the NBA right out of high school.
Right.
So I stand firm on that. So if you're telling me a kid can make, $1 million, off of NIL, there's a kid that was getting a football guy that was getting $250,000 a month.
Yeah.
I don't ever like if he maneuvers that money the right way, he doesn't ever have to play in the NFL.
Correct.
Obviously he will, But if you got an opportunity to do that for yourself and your family, man, that's a blessing, man. And I would advise kids to go get it. I mean, these athletes, football, basketball, these kids are the guys that's putting that time in the gym, blood, sweat, and tears, ample amount of hours to put themselves in position to get those types of NILs. And so I'm definitely all for it. And, in terms of it coming down to my level at the high school level, will it ever come down here? I'm not sure. I'm sure at some point, like they're making it legal now where high school kids can get an agent. But I would like to see a shot clock throughout the entire United States before we start talking, NIL for high school kids. And so
Q, this piggybacks the question I'm going to ask piggybacks on what we're talking about. We're from Ohio.
Right.
We know that there is, comparative to other states, there's a competitive disadvantage that goes on in Ohio on certain levels, especially when you start talking about private schools versus public schools and or Catholic-based schools versus public high schools, right? And I'm a firm believer in that a kid should have an opportunity to do what he needs to do to help his family out at any age. If you have the talent and you have the ability, then he should be compensated. That's just how I feel. Right.
Yep.
But the issue is in Ohio, we have an unfair disadvantage. So my question is, do you think in Ohio we need to do some things to level the playing field to get our kids close to those Texas and those Floridas and those Californias where they have a competitive advantage, not just in basketball, but in football?
I think in some areas in Ohio, I think the playing field is even. I think in places like Lima, we are several steps behind. But when you're talking football, for example, I went to JUCO in Texas. And so
what JUCO?
I went to Kilgore.
Oh, he went to Kilgore. All right.
Yeah, third team All-American. Yeah.
Everything's better in Texas. I just want y'all to know that. But go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. But so that was the first time I got a chance to experience football being played all year round. Never heard of it. And when you're having an opportunity at a school in states like Texas, Alabama, Florida, those southern states, and I'm sure it happens on the West Coast in California, when you could play football all year round, spring ball, that's like AAU of football. And those kids are going to obviously have a head start on kids here.
Yeah.
They always say that the most athletic kids come from which region in the country, the South. And I don't think a lot of kids understand, where do you get some of your athleticism from? Vitamin D, which is coming from where?
The sun.
And so our kids don't train outside. We only get in the sun consistently 3 months out the year. Where when you go to Texas, when you go to Mississippi, Alabama, they get in the sun all year round and they're doing everything outside. So it's not a surprise why they're faster. It's not a surprise why they're more athletic. I really believe that. It's scientifically been proven. And so I think the unfair advantage is, for me, the unfair advantage is only us, meaning the way that we put our kids in position to be better. Me and my son used to have a thing, I know Kevin Tate knows this, where we would beat the country to the gym. That was our thing when he was in high school. Beat the country to the gym. So we going to the gym at 5:30. It's 2:30 in California. It's 3:30 in Texas.
Right.
So we beating everybody to the gym. Then we practicing after school. Then we going back at night, just getting some shots up. So Kobe, Kobe had a thing, you guys probably heard of this, where he was getting up every day at 3 a.m, going to work out. You do that over a 7-8 year period, guys can't catch up to that.
Right.
You're not catching up to that. It's impossible. And so I think our kids here the ones that are really high level to that elite level, because right now we got a few in line. We got a few, I'm watching how they do things, and I'm not surprised, because that's the way that you have to do it to be considered one of the elite ones. Because when you start talking sports, you got elite, you got great, you got good, you got average. It's one of those four. If you look at any sport, NFL, you look at the NBA, you got average guys, you got good guys, you got great guys, and then you got elite guys. There's only a few people that can be
1%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think when you come from towns like Lima, we've never got the fair recognition coming from these types of towns, because these types of towns are all over the country.
Yeah.
So you have to do things different. You have to go an extra mile in order to make your presence felt to a certain degree. I didn't really understand that until I started to see how it was going with my son. When you look at guys before us, you look at guys like Greg. Greg had to gravitate out of Columbus.
Yeah.
When he was in high school, and he had to go to Columbus and start playing for teams there, AAU teams there, and it took off for him. But now, we can build things, and we are building things and building players right out of Lima, man, which is fabulous, man. It's really, man, I can't even really put it into words how good of a feeling that it is. There's a lot of talent here. I think in the next few years, we're going to have a couple guys that, hey, they're going to be playing in the pros, and it's definitely looking like it's going to happen.
Man, I'm glad you called me, man. I feel like I've been quiet for 25 minutes, man. Man, I know Q the interview, but you and Big G to hold everything up.
Hey, I'm calling on you right now. I'm the one who pulled on you.
That's why I said thank you. I was just being patient. But nah, man. So I'm gonna piggyback off a couple of things Q said, man, because I remember, man. Q, I don't remember the street, man. It was right over there when you lived over there, right off the Jameson overpass. What street was that?
That was Jameson and Rice.
Rice. You was little Rice though.
Yep.
And early in the morning, I remember you used to have Smoke and Zave outside doing drills. They was like probably about 8 and 5.
Yeah.
You had them going early, man. So I remember that. Everything you say, you've backed it up with your actions over the past 25 years, for real. So couple of lighter point questions, man. I want to ask you, and I said this when we was promoting the show, talking about getting you on here with us, man. You remember you was out here, you stayed in my crib. You weren't coaching, but we went to watch Zay play in the AAU, probably like 5th grade, 6th grade, maybe.
Yep.
And we went to the Boys and Girls Club in Anacostia. I told everybody I ain't been to Anacostia since, man. You got me over there in the super hood in my own city. But we were sitting there watching the game, and you said, I don't know why you said it. You said, man, I'm the best coach in the state of Ohio. You remember saying that?
Man, I probably did, man.
You did.
But knowing me, I probably did say that.
Right. So I remember that, and you wasn't even coaching at that time, not coaching high school, but obviously you got the job in Lima Senior. You got a tremendous record. Do you know what your record is? Do you know how many wins you got?
I really don't, man. I had put a thing, it came up on my memories the other day, and I had just liked it. It was like 4 years ago. I had 100 wins 4 years ago. And then everybody started congratulating me. And I'm like, man, this was 4 years ago.
I've been had that, huh?
Yeah, I've been had that. But
hey.
I don't know. I would guess.
Well,
it's probably getting close to at least 200, getting close.
Yeah. Well, my math says, but I got you down for 8 seasons. You said you just finished your 9th season, though, right?
I just finished my 9th season.
So at 8 seasons, whatever I got 170 and 52.
Yeah. So
I don't know what you would add to that. I don't know what season I'm missing, but that's a 76.5% winning clip. That's the guy that got the all-time record. The dude's name was from was he from Kalida? But he got 822 wins. He coached for 59, 56 years, I think. You got that in you?
Man, that's tough. That's tough.
Couple more things. I'll pass it back to G and Mod. Hey man, you remember you brought up, young people when we was young. We played outside. We lived to play, man. We go Bradfield, Rob, Salvation Army,
right?
Cook Park, BP on Sundays, everywhere. But what I want to ask
Schoonovers. Yeah.
I want to add.
You got to say Schoonovers, Sean, because if my man Londell, if he listening, he gonna text me and call me, and he gonna let me have it. You don't bring up Schoonovers.
Schoonovers, you had to get it in.
It's funny you bring up Londell because I want to ask you, and on the fun side of things, you remember, man, we used to be on each other's team. We would run that crack back pick and roll, that pick, and we would catch a joker not looking. You would run him so hard into a pick that I said,
"Hey, I'm surprised you ain't get into a lot of fights over that screen, man, because it was kind of like an illegal. It was like a dirty legal, not illegal. It was a dirty legal play.
Right.
I mean,
sounds about right.
We
coming
would do
from
that,
Tate.
especially a lot on game point where guys is playing hard.
Right.
I would have Tate set a pick. I would run my man off him so hard. A lot of arguments. I mean, guys was heated.
Yeah, I definitely remember that, man. Last thing, man, you talk about Lima and the basketball in Lima. How many Ohio Mr. Basketballs is from Lima? Count them up.
We got 5 for sure. We got Greg twice, Jamar, Aaron, Xavier, Greg twice, Jamar, Aaron, and Xavier, right here.
Right.
And it's crazy because all 5 of those guys are connected. Family type.
And I got a cousin that live in Chicago, and Pay, what's up? Shout out Pay. He does another podcast with me. But they try and claim Tyler Eunice, man. Come on, man.
He Bean City, dog. He belonged to us, bro.
Yeah,
get up out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, B-Dirt said dirty but legal could be a good name for Tate's autobiography. Absolutely. If Tate don't take it, I know G can, because G can cheat in some cards.
Hey, I don't care. I don't care. Hey, look.
Don't get cute talking about the spade games we used to all have.
Oh my God. Listen.
I gotta ask you one question about a kid, and I don't know how much you can or cannot say, man. But there's a kid here. His last name's Foster. They said he's the one. Are you allowed to talk about this kid at all?
I'm allowed to talk dirtball bad about him because I know he's listening right now.
Okay. They say he's the one, Q. They say he's the one. Is he the one?
Yeah, man. Y'all know Sean, man. That's Sean's boy.
Yeah.
Shane and Sean, shout out my bros. My bros.
Panther bros.
Yeah.
Baby Sean, man, he's special, man. He's definitely special. Mentality is different. His confidence is different. When you're good, when he's super, super skilled.
Mm-hmm.
The game is really slow for him. Game is really slow. Yeah. And I mean that like easy slow.
Yeah.
He picks up things right away. IQ is through the roof. He is special, man. He's got a real glass ceiling, man. He could be the one. I don't necessarily there's a few guys that I said that are pros, yo, this kid's a pro. I never said that about my own son. I said it about Tyler. I said it about a couple of my AAU guys, Darius Basin.
Yeah.
And the guys that I said was going to be pros have been pros. I think Baby Sean, he could be a pro. Obviously there's some things that he gotta continue to grow at, continue to get better at. I believe he could be a pro. That didn't change how I'm going to coach him.
Yeah.
I'm still going to coach him the same way, probably harder because
absolutely
he has the ability,
absolutely.
over him. But I mean, he's skilled, man. I mean, he the game is extremely slow to him. It's easy. And what I've seen from him, because like anybody that's been around Sean, like they know he's challenged people in certain ways. But now, I mean, like he's grown and matured into a player now where, shoot, man, it's scary, man. I mean, if I had to say, he kind of reminds you of a Jamar Butler to a certain degree. You know, when Jamar played, the game was super slow and easy to him, effortless. You know, the jump shot was effortless. The IQ was through the roof. Baby Sean has that, but, you know, he'll be dunking on cats this spring and summer. Like
love to hear that. Love to hear that. Warren Pugley said the GOAT is on today. He also said that Baby Sean Foster's a real problem. He told me that he was giving my team 35 and he had 4 at the end of the first quarter, but one of my kids called him soft, and in the next 3 quarters he had 50. Wow. Yeah, that's something that you don't.
Yeah, like that.
Hey, that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to call somebody with that attitude out.
Hey Q, he's suiting up for you next year, ain't he?
Huh?
He's suiting up for you next year.
Oh yeah, no brainer. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay.
No brainer.
So Q, just for the people who don't know, because there's a lot of local folks that are watching, but across the nation, there's a lot of people that are watching and are going to watch on this replay. You had your son come through your program. Xavier came through your program, of course, played for Lima. Then he went and he played for the University of Michigan. Now, you know, he's still balling, but this is something I found that was real interesting. He's bringing this back. This is what everybody's talking to him about, is bringing the hook back, man. Where did that come from? You taught him the hook, or is it just a move he developed?
You know, that's what I'm saying with that NIL, man. Like if that could have happened when he was at Michigan with the hook, with the Captain Hook NIL, you know what kind of money we talking?
For real, bro.
No, man. I seen you put that picture up of him with Trey Cobb, man. Shout out to my boy Trey Cobb. It's like a son to me, man. X and Trey, the whole crew, man. Trey is coaching at Memphis. They just played today.
Yeah.
And
they just beat Houston.
They just beat Houston, man. One, you know, that's X right-hand man, you know, I mean, from 3rd, 2nd grade, man. So big shout out to Trey Cobb, man. I love that boy, man.
And the people
proud of him.
And the people don't know they played together for LCC and won the state championship, but then Zay came to play for you when you got the job in Lima Senior.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think everything happens for a reason. When I got the job at Lima Senior, obviously, you know, Trey wanted to come. But we all just kind of felt like, you know, for his growth, I wanted him to come to Lima Senior. Make no mistake about that. But, you know, for his growth, it was going to be best for him to stay at LCC. He did that, and then actually him and Dantez, shout out to my boy Walt, you know, overseas getting money.
Yeah,
they got another state championship, man. So, but yeah, man, in terms of the hook shot, man, you know, this is kind of ironic. So Beeline, he calls me one day. X is at home. So when X was like going into his sophomore year, his junior year, Beeline would give guys a choice if they wanted to go home during one session of summer school, or if they could stay on campus. Well, basically, if they trusted you, like if they knew you were going to be going home, be in the gym, blah, 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 they would let you go. And so X was telling him that he wanted to come home, you know, work out with me. And Beeline knew that Beeline had been to Lima several times. So he knew the blueprints. Kids are going to be in the gym. So he calls me and he was like, man, the NCAA is changing how they call fouls against the bigs. Like if you can jump vertical now, as long as your hands are straight up, and it's no longer a foul. So he was saying that in workouts, X accidentally did a hook shot, and it went in, and Beeline told him, you should start working on that a little more because it looked good. So he comes home, and we do our thing, you know, our normal workout, whatever. And then afterwards, he grabs 2 cones And he was like, "Hey, Dad, I want you to rebound for me for like 20 minutes." Now we done been in the gym 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, well, you know, what you finna do that we hadn't already done? He starts doing this hook shot.
We lost you there.
Like,
we lost you there
like,
for a second.
You think I'm finna stand here for 20 minutes?
And rebound. Yeah.
While you doing this one leg hook, other leg hook. Like, what are we doing?
Mm.
And y'all know X, but Tate, like, you know X. You've been there from the very beginning. His mindset was like, nah, I'm about to really finesse this.
Mm.
And so once I started to see how serious he was taking it, and I'm just like, hey, I rebound, kick you the ball. He would lay 2 cones out. He would do his hook shot, go around the other cone, other hand, around the other cone, other hand. Then he started doing opposite hand, opposite leg. You know, the Tony Parker, but the hook shot. And I'm like, wow. And then you fast forward into the season, going into his senior season, like he scored his 1,000th point at Michigan on the hook shot against Rutgers. And like that shot has basically helped getting paid, you know.
Right.
It's something that I didn't think of. It's something that I would never tell a kid to start doing. You know, Beeline, anybody that knows John Beeline knows that he is like a genius of a coach offensively. So it was just kind of crazy that he told X that he should work on that. But more importantly, X bought into that.
Put in the work.
And did it, you know.
And right now, he is killing with it.
Hey, Mod, put up Claude Bishop comment.
I will. T Tate said to say hello to her cousin on Facebook, comment on Facebook. But let's go to Damien's comment. Damien said the ability to connect to, reach, teach, and inspire his players positively is the magic of Coach Q. Man, that's some great words, Damien. I appreciate that. I know Coach does too as well.
D-Tate.
Claude said, have any of you guys seen LeBron James play when he was in high school?
Hey, so I wanted to comment on that because we talking about Q's AAU teams. He coached one of LeBron's AAU teams, right?
Yep, I coached with 5 years. Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I'm gonna ask 2 questions real quick because I told you before. I don't know if you remember. I said back in the day when you was at your peak, your game was like LeBron before LeBron. You could do a little bit of everything. You were strong. You had a jumper. You could pass. You could defend. You could do everything. That's when you was in your prime now. So,
wow. Wait, let me tell you. Well, no, wow. I seen him the other day in the gym, not on the gym, but he put it on Facebook. He was giving them youngsters buckets. He was having them come out one at a time. Come on out here. One at a time. Bow. Next. Bow. Next. He's still giving buckets.
And you almost 50, coach. But hey, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Like, I don't do no open gyms. I don't do no 5-on-5s. But I can for sure line them up 1-on-1. 3
Give them buckets.
King of the Hill. King of the Hill. I love it.
Hey, man. So I want to ask you, though, a question real quick. So you come from a basketball playing family, you and all your brothers. Warren, Sean, and you, right?
Yep.
So, and all y'all could play, but if all y'all was in y'all prime, who would win?
It ain't even close.
Domination, Q. Domination.
Nope. It ain't close because you just said it. Like Warren and Sean was jump shooters.
Right.
And so like honestly, like when you take away the jump shot from them, it was hard, you know. And I was we talking prime. See, in my prime, that's when weightlifting was involved.
Right.
So I would have been, I'm bigger than both of them already. And I would have been way too strong and too physical. Warren seen a little bit of that when I was a freshman in college, and I went on to his Army base and just destroyed the whole base. You know, Warren can vouch for that. You know, he definitely can. But I just think in our prime, like if we talking elements of just shooting, then for sure Sean and Warren for sure. But stepping onto the court, saying I need a bucket, but then I got to go down there and defend. It wouldn't even be close, man.
Warren said hold on. He said Warren said I saw LeBron when we were playing in a big event, and I had Clay Tucker and Seth Nail and Louis Shine, who Q coached the year before he went to school. And then Warren said, yeah, Q was killing all of Fort Sill, Oklahoma, but Sean had something that was special. It would be close. And then Lamar said Sean had one of the best jumpers to ever come through Lima.
Nah, for sure.
Q,
For sure,
Q.
man. Like Sean, like my brother Sean, you probably, Sean, you might remember this too. Like
I played with him when I was a grade in front of him. But when he was in 7th, he started 8th on our 8th grade team. And when I was in 9th, he was in 8th grade and he started on our 9th grade team. Him and Shane Daly was
down to the Bradfield Center outside in the summer and play one-on-one by himself, full court.
I remember
to this
that.
day, I still never really understood how. But one day in the summer, I went with him. And, he had to be this. Matter of fact, this was the summer he was going from West to Lima Senior, because I want to say Mr. Penn told him after South beat them in the championship, Lamar will remember at South, 10 o'clock in the morning. I remember it like yesterday. West beat them twice in the regular season. But after that game, I think it was Coach Penn told Sean, if you continue to get better, whatever, you would play varsity. I think I could be wrong on which coach it was, but it was the coach that told him that summer. He woke up every day, literally early, went to the Bradfield outside. I mean, wasn't no machines. You shoot, get your own rebound, got to chase it down, playing one-on-one full court by himself. And I remember going with him one day, and I never went again. But I was like, wow. And fast forward, that's, hey, you went Division I,
Yeah. Nevada. University of Nevada. Baller. Played against
Love
the
it,
Running
man.
Rebels.
Love it, man.
It
We
was
go
crazy because Sean had a rough college. I mean, he played well, but his first 3 years, he had 3 new coaches, 3 new head coaches his first 3 years. So he never had an opportunity to really plant his feet. And then the last year is when I was at the school in Oklahoma. And I told the coach, like, yo, if you want me, my brother got 1 more year left. It'd be a blessing to play with my brother. And Sean came out to Oklahoma. Unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt. But Sean played, killed out there. And that's, he's still living in Oklahoma, still out there.
Warren said LeBron was in the 8th grade and got a 2-hand duck. I looked around and asked, who is this kid? Knew he was going to be good, but didn't see him being what he is. Man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We're going to switch gears, man, and we're just going to jump on this just a little bit. We got a little bit of time left here, about probably like 10 minutes. Warren, I mean, Coach, I got to ask you, man. I mean, I'll talk to Warren. I know where Warren stands with this, I know where G stands with this, and I know where Tate stands with this. Who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest of all times? Who you got, man? Is it Jay? Is it Money?
Come on, Q. Come on, Q. Don't come on, Q.
I know what he's gonna say. I know a basketball mind's perspective on stuff.
It ain't even. I mean, Mr. LeBron, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
King Carl James, man. It's LeBron for sure.
I hear you. Why would you say that? Because I'm curious just to hear why you would say it.
I mean, there's a lot of debates. There's a lot of reasons, but for me, you're talking about a guy that can do everything. Like, he can do everything. He's done everything, both ends, make guys better, score. He's probably the best passer we've ever seen. And that's including Magic. Winning, like, I know people like my brother, we debate this all the time. Jordan, 6 for 6 in the finals. We get that. Like, LeBron has never remotely had any type of elite level coaching. Never. He carried guys to the finals that, man, it's just, this dude, man, I don't think we will appreciate him until he's gone, because nothing against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan could score the rock. He could score the ball. He was a phenom. you know, but this dude LeBron, man, he just different. He's different. He different. And the numbers don't lie. Now, I will probably say if Jordan, you know, I seen something on Twitter the other day where they were saying if Jordan knew back then that this guy LeBron was coming, he wouldn't have took them 2 seasons off. So that's he would have got them points. But man, like for me, it's LeBron, and it ain't even close. It's LeBron, man.
You know, as Warren said, best passer we've ever seen. Come on now, not better than Magic. Blasphemy. Listen, so we got to get this in. The 68 has been published and put out there. It happened 10 minutes ago. Definitely gonna run down the brackets. I'm just gonna say, man, this is a crazy brackets. In Columbus, we got number 1 Purdue. Purdue's a number 1.
Purdue got a 1 seed. Purdue got a 1 seed.
That ain't surprising. Purdue and Kansas got number 1 seeds. I know.
Purdue got a number 1. Texas Southern is Fairleigh Dickinson's the 16 over there. Memphis is an 8. Florida Atlantic's 31-3. They're 9. And then we go to Orlando. Duke is a 5. Oral Roberts is a 12. Tennessee's a 4. Louisiana Lafayette's 13. And then in Greensboro, North Carolina, to finish out the bracket, we got Kentucky 6. Providence 11. 8 is a 3. That's surprising. Montana State number 14, and that's the end for that right there. We got Michigan State, Southern California, Marquette, and Vermont there. Kansas earns the number 1 seed in the West. So Kansas is number 1 there. Howard is the 16th seed. They got in. Arkansas, number 8, Illinois, 9. St. Mary's is number 5. Virginia Commonwealth's number 12. They always get into the tournament making noise, man. I'm scared of Virginia Commonwealth. Every time I see their name.
My nephew played for Virginia Commonwealth, man. Zeb
Iona is
yeah.
Oh,
Zeb played, yeah.
Well.
Oh wow, yeah. That makes I couldn't connect that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Iona's a 13, and in Denver, TCU is a 6. Arizona State, Nevada, because they haven't finished playing yet, so we don't know who's going. We got a know-it-all family member over there that's at Nevada. Will is definitely playing center 7-1 from Westlake. He's in that game. Gonzaga is a 3rd seed. Man, has Timmy been playing for 88 years? I mean, goodness. Grand Canyon's the 14. Sacramento, we got Northwestern. That's another Big Ten school that got in at 21 and 11. That number 7 seed. Boise State's number 10. UCLA, scary team, number 2. And then you got UNC Asheville. Houston is the number 1 seed in the Midwest region. Another Austin kid over there, Jamal Shedd at guard at Houston. Number 1, they're the number 1 seed. Northern Kentucky is 16. Iowa is a Big Ten team. They're number 8. Auburn is 2022. They're number 9. Miami, didn't their guard get hurt the other night?
Yeah.
One of their main guards got hurt the other night. They're number 5 seed. Drake is a 12 seed. Indiana, another Big Ten team. That's surprising. Miller Kopp that transferred from Northwestern is over there. Him and that other guy from Indiana are really, really good. Tate, you were about to say something?
No, I just hear you shouting all the Texas people. Keep going.
Whatever. Here we go. Number 13, Kent State. And then
I watched Kent State. You know, like it's crazy. They got a few of my former AAU players playing for Kent State. And I ain't saying it because a few of my guys is there, but they could mess around and be in the Sweet 16.
I love it. I love hearing stuff like that. That helps me with my bracket, Coach. Keep giving me tips that, man, because I want to win my bracket this year. Number 6 is Iowa State. Number 11 is Mississippi State. Number 3 is Xavier. Wow. No, has anybody seen Xavier play this year?
Yeah.
Sean Miller got some boys playing good. They got beat by Marquette yesterday, but Xavier, they've been playing well all year. They're really good.
Obviously a number 3 seed.
I saw him smash Georgetown earlier. in a year. I saw him smash Georgetown.
Everybody smashing Georgetown. I was like, Patrick Ewing got fired.
Yeah.
Too many years to get smashed.
Y'all wrong for that. Pat Ewing know he needed something. He trying to make a dispensary over there, man. Leave Pat alone, man. Number 3, Xavier. Number 14, Kennesaw State. Number 7, Texas A&M. They got mashed today. I don't know how they're at 7 seed. Number 10, Penn State. Number 2, Texas. That's a good Texas team. Definitely a good Texas team. They won the Big 12.
You see how we did with all this Q all the time, man. You see what we stopped on?
It's all that bias, man. All that orange state bias going on over here, man.
I'm from Texas, baby. What it is?
It's bias, man.
Speaking of Texas, man, they're gonna keep my man as the head coach because they definitely need to.
I hope they do. He's earned it. Rodney Terry has earned it.
For sure.
He's definitely earned it. If they, I mean, I don't see why not. I just don't see why not.
They do.
Yeah, I hope they do too. And then the last seed we got Alabama. They won the number 1 overall seed in the South, and of course you got Alabama at 1, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Wow, they're number 16.
Yeah, shout out to our little cousin Gurley playing forward guard for Alabama, man. Get your stuff in this year, bro. Get your stuff in.
Number 8, Maryland. Number 9, West Virginia, another Big 12 team. Number 5, San Diego State. Number 12, College of Charleston. They got no chance. They're 31-3, but they finna get sent home because they're around Virginia. Furman at number 13. Number 11, North Carolina State. Number 3, Baylor. Number 14, UC Santa Barbara. Number 7, Missouri. Number 10, Utah State. Number 2, Arizona. They're going to be hard to beat. Number 15, Princeton. And there we go. That is our brackets, all of our March Madness bracket action. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for it to get started this week. I'm beyond excited.
I don't remember nothing you said about what seeds is what seeds. But everybody on here right now, give me 2 teams you got going to the Final Four and 2 sleepers.
I'm gonna start with Coach. Coach, you start this out. Let's give him some money.
2 teams I got going to the Final Four
and 2 sleepers.
You know, I would say Bama. I got to see the brackets again, but I definitely like Alabama. And I also like Houston. Even though the guard got hurt, but I think he will be back. In terms of sleepers, as crazy as it sounds, I like Kent State. Like I watch them boys play because they can defend. And then I think another sleeper, but we just never know. But I think it could be Memphis.
Man,
because they got talent, but hey, my guy Trey Cobb over there, man. So I gotta,
I'm gonna give you mine real quick and see. I know I got a great basketball mind too, man. My two of my picks just like Coach Q's, man. For my Final Four teams, 2 of my favorites, I got Alabama, but instead of Houston, I got Purdue. I think Edie gonna be a problem for a lot of people. And the other 2 teams I got my sleepers, I got Memphis and I got Indiana.
I like Alabama, man. It's family ties there, but I like them just period. I think they play good basketball. But I like Bama. I like the Kansas Jayhawks. I think the guard play at Kansas with Wilson and Dick and our boy KJ, shout out to him, man. They're going to go on a run. I don't know if they're as deep as they were last year.
Friend of the show, Kansas. KJ Allen. Friend of the show, KJ Allen.
Yeah, KJ Abrams, yeah.
Adams.
Adams.
But I like Kansas and I like Bama. My sleepers, believe it or not, Gonzaga a sleeper. Ain't nobody paying no attention to Gonzaga. And Gonzaga can play. And the other one I like is Marquette. Marquette got guards, man. They got guards.
That's another one.
Yeah. I like Marquette.
So my like Texas A&M, Texas Abilene Christian as a sleeper, and who else?
No, absolutely not. I need you to understand what's going on. Alabama won't make it out of their seat. I'm just telling you right now. They're just Oklahoma beat them. Oklahoma beat them and took them to the dojo, and they showed teams how to do it. But I got UCLA.
Nice pick. That's a nice pick.
I got UCLA. I got Houston. Although I think, well, I'll just go ahead and go like this: UCLA, Houston, Baylor, and I think Purdue loses to, get this, Kansas State. I think Kansas State is really, really tough. Them Big 12 teams are going to be hard to uproot out of this.
What conference Texas in?
They're in the Big 12. But
okay.
But
hey, Ma, if the 12 don't win the chip, it's a bust. Y'all the most overrated conference in the history of basketball.
Y'all got the Big 10 got the most teams in the tournament.
More than the 12?
Did they?
Yeah. We only got 7 in.
Way.
We got
this
7
year,
in.
The Big 10 got more teams in the tournament than the Big 12?
They got 9.
What?
They got 9 in. Y'all got 9 in. I was watching it. Y'all got 9 in. And listen, I'm trying to tell you, here's the deal. This is what I'm saying to you. The Big 10, the SEC, then the Big 12 were the teams that with the hierarchy. Mm-hmm. But the Big 12 played each other, and that's why they got all them quad 1 wins.
Yeah.
They were really good this year. They were top heavy, and they're battle tested. A lot of these teams ain't had to play that type of competition, right? The Big 10 has, the SEC has. Tennessee is one of them teams that's going to cause havoc, right?
Hey, bro, I will say this. If Baylor get hot, boy, look out.
Baylor's another one. Baylor and Texas are my sleepers.
Baylor can shoot.
Sleepers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But,
another team, man, that's really good that a lot of people may not talk about is Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
They're number 7 in that bracket. Yeah, they're good.
Missouri is really good, man. Really good.
Alabama, Warren said Alabama tough. They play on both ends. Texas is a real problem. Purdue is hard to deal with. The Zags can get down. Marquette can play with anybody. UCLA had a key injury that hurts. Houston is all D. I'm gonna tell you something. And the thing about Houston is, Shed and Sasser, or Sasser's the one who got hurt.
Right.
Shed and Sasser are 2 dynamic guards. And what is the tournament about?
Guard
play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I like Big G's pick with Marquette. Love it. UCLA is big. I mean, yeah, the injury hurt, but UCLA is big. I just don't believe in the Zags, though. I don't believe in Gonzaga. I mean, Timmy, he looked like, he don't have a frat party after every game. But,
I'm with you on that, Marty. Gonzaga remind me of the Dallas Cowboys of college basketball.
I don't know that I would go to those links, man. I'm just saying Timmy looked like he could have played on old school with Will Ferrell. I'm just saying he's not. He's one of those guys, man. It looks like he's throwing a frat party after every game with a cup, plastic cups. I can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I can't see it. But that's it on that. Now I do want to. While we got you and we're about to go, these are our parting shots. We're gonna get on our parting shots, but. Coach, you got the floor. Who's going to win the NBA championship? But I want you to start with this key fact. With the West being all jumbled up the way that it is, who's coming out of the West, man? Who you got coming out of the West?
It's hard to say because, simply for the cause, if you got a healthy KD, it's hard to bet against Phoenix. KD is a player that he don't have to be around to have continuity and chemistry with a team. He can fit right in. We've seen that when you dumped him in to Golden State. But coming out the West, the playoff standings. What Denver's number 1. You look at this: Denver's 1, Memphis 2, Sac 3. And if I'm looking at it, the Lakers can beat either of those teams in the series.
Yep.
I think obviously we know, you got the Warriors at a 6 seed. I wouldn't want to play Golden State. I wouldn't want to play Phoenix. But if I had to pick a team to come out the West, like direct one team, as much as I, rock with LeBron, I would have to say Phoenix. I would just have to say, as long as KD come back healthy, we seen what they were doing in them few games he played. It was scary. I would have to say Phoenix. I'm not sold on Denver. Denver's known for having a great regular season record, and then they kind of go away in the playoffs. Memphis talk too much. Not sold on them. Sacramento, they've been kind of flying under the radar. They don't get a lot of TV time, but I don't think they got enough veteran leadership to win a Western Conference championship. And so then you go to, you got Phoenix. I mean, I love the Clippers, but it's always something. Talent-wise, they got all the pieces, but it's always something. And so I would say Phoenix. I'm just going to say Phoenix, man. Phoenix.
Yeah. And so out of the East, who you got?
Boston, no brainer.
Over Milwaukee?
I love Milwaukee. I just think Boston has way too many weapons and they can defend. We've seen that, obviously last year. I love Milwaukee. I mean, I think Giannis, top to bottom, is the best player in the league, right now. But I just think Boston they just got too many weapons, man. And I think they're hungry from last year. But I think the championship will be out west. I think Phoenix will win it.
Well, love it, man. Go over these comments and then we're gonna get to our parting shots. Warren said that the Big 12 is the best conference this year, and it isn't even close. He said Gonzaga looks like the Dallas Cowboys of college basketball. That's cold, but it can be said. B Dirt said not the Dallas Mavericks.
Trash.
Claude Bishop said the Lakers if LeBron gets healthy. And this one was coming. You knew this comment was coming. He said if Q can't say the Lakers coming out of the West with his GOAT, average 30 points, he ain't the GOAT. When would we say MJ was coming out of the Eastern Conference? A healthy
man, what was Mike doing with the Wizards when he was 38?
Trash. Trash.
Listen, Denver has a 1 seed, so you got to go win at least once in Mile High. That's going to be hard to do. That's going to be hard to do.
Hey, Q, you Big G's favorite take on everybody moving is trash, man. And he has called Luka Doncic trash. You think Luka trash?
He garbage.
He called him trash. Now,
He garbage. He garbage.
Help us with this, man.
Q. They 3-9, 3-8, whatever they are.
That don't make Luka garbage, man.
Hey, man, Luka is a stat stuffer, bro. Luka can't play with a top 25 player. He ain't. He's a bum. He's a bum.
That part is actually true.
He's struggling. That's what I tell you.
He's struggling being able to play with another elite level caliber player, but he's definitely not trash. He definitely. What y'all think of the 76ers? My boy Fall said he thinks the 76ers coming out the East.
They got a guy. The Tucker changes the dynamic for them.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, because he's not going to let Harden freeze up. Harden has a tendency to freeze up when the big moment hits, and he's going to push Embiid. He's going to push Embiid
What? One PJ Tucker in Houston when Harden was freezing up there.
They didn't have no Embiid though back then. Though they didn't have no Joel Embiid either.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Joel,
I like Philly, but I mean, I like Milwaukee coming out of the East myself. But I would love to see Philly go because I'm an old school 76er fan when I was a little shorty.
Yeah,
I just do not trust. As much as I love Harden's game, it's hard for me to trust him in the playoffs because of everything we've seen in the past.
I hear that. And Coach, some Quincy White said y'all got the wrong cue. I'm right here. He said Alabama. He said Alabama, y'all's brackets busted first round. And then he also said the Cavaliers win it all. That was a Facebook comment.
Cavs ain't winning it all, man. Check out our podcast about the Cavs. They ain't winning it all, bro.
But hey, we are about to have a me and Big G a Cavaliers podcast starting soon. We'll let y'all know.
Yep,
for sure.
Timothy Lyons says, here you go again with the Luka. He said, G always hating on MJ and Luka. I mean, I'm telling you, it's definitely part of G's vocabulary. I think he gets stuck right there. MJ and Luka, he's hating on both of them. Oh, and the Cowboys and Dak. He's gonna hate on all of them for the rest of his life. I think he wakes up in his sleep like devil Dak. It's just, it's crazy.
Facts.
Parting shots, you guys, man. Let's get to it. Big G, let's start out. What's your parting shot this week, baby?
Hey, man, y'all know I do the burner every week, man. But this week we got a special guest, so I got to pull him into the burner, dog. Q, top 5 Lima basketball players, any era, anytime, ever.
Ooh.
Give it to me, Q. Top 5 ever. Let me hear it, man.
Good question, Big G.
This is the most disturbed conversation that takes place whenever it comes up in Lima. So no, it doesn't matter the school, right?
Don't matter. Top 5 ever.
You got to forgive me if because I heard Bob Gunn was just something different.
Yeah, me too.
I never seen him.
Yeah.
But I heard this guy Bob Gunn was on a different element. But it's tough. But I will say, sheesh. I will say Greg. I will say, let me back up. Are we talking careers that was just in high school, or are we talking
just your best 5 any era, anytime, any 5?
But
did
they have to be beasts in high school? Or can he pick somebody who's the beast in the city?
Whatever, beast in the city, they ain't had to play. I want to know his best 5 hoopers. This guy is a Q almost belong on the Mount Rushmore. So I want to know who's going on the Rushmore with him, man.
All right.
Give me the 5, man.
I'll probably say Greg, X, Dre Reed. I would probably Jamar Butler. Man, my 5th. Aaron Hutchins.
Okay.
Man, you and Warren got the exact same 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be tough, and that ain't in no certain order, but those guys, like there were some guys like we talking, just flat out killers, but Jennery was a guy that ran to the
R.I.P.
just to watch
Yes.
Do the finger rolls, and he would flat out tell you, I ain't shooting no jumpers, can't shoot, but I'm getting to the cup.
Yep.
And did it. But yeah, man.
You remember Jimmy played on that shortcut squad we had that won that first basketball championship with the new Y?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. We had Jimmy, we had Matt, we had Beaton, we had a squad.
Yeah, that's a lot going on right there.
Malcolm Martin was, he probably not obviously in the top of those names, man, but he was an animal. Mac was an animal.
Mac is up there. Up there.
So take your parting shot, man.
Man, well, I want to thank Coach Q for being a guest, man. Man, we so happy to have you with us, man. Just talking ball, talking sports, talking old times. Man, we go way back. So I really appreciate you just coming on and chopping it up with us, man.
For sure, man. I definitely appreciate you guys having me, man. This is big time. This is definitely huge. Definitely appreciate, you guys let me get on here and build with you, man. So anytime, man. Anytime, for sure.
You probably didn't see the episode because you went to the. I understand why you went to the dark side. Your son played for Michigan, but we had my friends with Ray Jackson from the Fab Five. We had him on there. Like they said, we've had KJ Adams. We've had a lot of great guests, Olympians, former NFL players. But this is actually one of the best ones. It's up there with the best of them, man. So,
I appreciate you, boys, man, for sure.
And you talked about the standard earlier and expectations. So I got to pull the Steelers in and compare you to Coach Mike Tomlin, man. You ain't never had a losing season, have you?
No.
Okay. Mike Tomlin, Ohio high school basketball, baby.
Right.
And my last part of the shot, man. I've been watching a couple shows, man. We talk about shows and stuff like that. I'm not gonna tell y'all the shows. I'm just gonna name my 3 favorite characters. Y'all figure it out and y'all Google the names, I'm saying go watch the show because it's good. My 3 favorite characters right now, man: Franklin Saint, Mike McCluskey, and Spencer Dutton. You don't know them shows? Google them characters and check out them shows.
Need to Google them and check it out. Google them and check it out. Mr. Rain Pitt said, great podcast. Thank you, Coach Q and the KnoitAllz. We appreciate you for watching. Warren said, 4 Mr. Basketballs and Dre Reed. That's a good one.
True.
That's a good one. Claude said, great show as usual, fellas. And Beater said, wait. I used to be a Craig Hodges fan. Oh,
Craig was a baller. Craig Hodges was a baller in lineman.
All right.
Bruce Hodges.
Yeah, listen, Craig Hodges
played for the Bulls.
Oh, right? Like, I'm like, what did he say?
Oh, yeah, because his son name was Bruce. He went to Perry. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, listen, my parting shots. One, I want to send a shout out to my nephew down there who's with Q. Definitely, he's doing some basketball training himself. He just graduated, got out of college. Shout out to Orion. You're doing your thing down there, man, in Lima, doing your basketball training. I hope all is well. My parting shot is big. You know, it's one of these things where it's it's basketball, right? But football is still like king, man. We have so much football happening this week, so many different aspects. The NFL is gonna be wild. And then, you know, you got that narrative going. And then now we're about to heat up with some boxing, man. We finna have Tank and Ryan go at it. And I'm going to tell you something. I keep telling these guys, Coach Q, I'm a boxing fan. You know, I love to watch boxing. I love to get it in. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if Tank got it in him to beat Ryan, man. Tank is a great fighter. He really is, and he can hit hard. But Ryan is long and fast, and he can hit now. He ain't just no wafer. Right. You know, do you watch boxing at all?
Man, I love boxing. You know.
Yeah, so what do you think about this fight? What do you think about Tank and Ryan?
I think Ryan, like you said, he's big, he's taller, longer, and he definitely has power. But I don't think he's been hit as hard as Tank can hit. He's doing a lot of talking. You know, Ryan's doing a lot of talking, which is unlike him. So we're going to see, but I would not bet against Tank, but it's going to be box office for sure.
Man, I'm April 22nd. Man, it's going down.
Give me the Baltimore dude versus the LA dude, man, all day.
Tank. Be more in the house.
I wanted to say that. I want to say Javante Tank is good, man. Tank is he's like that. He got hands. But man, there's something about this fight, man. It's something about this fight.
Hey, Mac in the live chat, he said Tank all day. He from LA.
Yeah, I hear you, Max. I definitely hear you, man. You know, he said one of the best shows. Thank you. I appreciate it. And he said great show. I'm telling you, I don't know, man. Coach Q, man, I don't know. I'm one of those guys, man, that I'm a realist, and I just don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna get it done. I want to see him get it done. I like Tank, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's gonna get it done, man. I think he's gonna get it done. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but Tank built different, man. He built different.
Yeah,
and
Baltimore,
like man. That Baltimore DNA, man.
Right.
You know where he come from.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we like to thank everybody for watching, man. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. We are also on Twitter, man. So if you're on Twitter and you want to watch it, you can watch it there, man. For myself, for G, we like to thank Coach Q for coming on, man. Lima stood up and represented. We'll holler at you guys later.
You ain't gonna thank me, huh?
I was about to do that. And I said, Big Tate, we out of here, man. Peace.